Sound is 50% of the movie-going experience. Music strengthens immersion and emotional connection with a movie. This is Hans Zimmer, one of the best in contacting emotions in a movie. Famous for his various scores on movies like Pearl Harbor, Top Gun Maverick, Interstellar, Man of Steel, The Lion King, and so many more. The list goes on for quite a while. Born September 12, 1957 in West Germany, Zimmer began his career through playing the keyboard in the band The Buggles. He was in the music video for their hit song Video Killed the Radio Star, which famously was the first video aired on MTV. Moving into the film industry, Hans and his mentor Stanley composed a few film scores together. The first movie he scored was a movie called Moonlighting in 1982. The big turning point of his career was in 1988 when he was asked to score Rain Man for Barry Levinson. It was his first major film that did very well and earned him a nomination for an Academy Award. Zimmer was even placed number 72 on Top 100 Living Geniuses. Hans Zimmer has composed some of film's most iconic movie scores, such as Dune, Pirates of the Caribbean, but he says his favorite score he's ever composed was for Interstellar. The emotional depth and power to the music makes it very special to him.
The way I work with Chris Nolan, we have this weird way of working whereby, like, he tells me the story, you know the thing about Interstellar, you know, I'll tell you. So I write to Chris and he goes, listen, if he were to write something, just write me a letter with just a metaphorical story. It had nothing to do with the movie, and he would never tell me what the movie was about. Would I give him a day and just write whatever came to me? You know.
So you would compose based not on the script.
No, just on this, you know,
this idea.
So this letter arrived, and there's this beautiful story about what it meant to be a father, and so yeah, I spent a day writing, and I phoned his house at about 10 o'clock at night on Sunday. His wife answered, and I said, Emma, and, you know, I've done it. Do you want me to send it over? She goes, oh, Chris is curiously antsy. He's like pacing up and down. Do you mind if he comes over? So he came over and he sat down on the couch, and I said, okay, I'll play it to you. And I played him this fragile little piece that I'd written about my son, really, you know, relationship I have with my son. And I get to the end of it, and I'm going, so what do you think? Well, I better make the movie then. I'm going, what is the movie? And he started talking about space and huge and epic and all this, and then finally I'm going, stop, you know, stop. Yeah. I've written this tiny, tiny little thing, you know, this really fragile, personal thing. And he goes, yeah, I know where the heart of the movie is now. So that's how we, and that's how we worked through the whole movie.
So that's a true collaboration there.
Yeah.
Another famous film score by Hans Zimmer we just can't leave out is The Lion King. Probably one of the biggest animated movies ever.
And what was it about the Lion King story that attracted you to it?
Partly the wrong reasons, which was my daughter was 6 years old and I'd never been able to take her to any premiere, and Dad likes to show off. The story wasn't fully developed either. I saw the script way after the movie was finished. I was really, Rob Minkoff and Roger Allis, the two directors, they'd be in this room with storyboards, and they'd start showing me storyboards and telling me the story, and they'd get sort of 5 minutes in and they'd get to one storyboard and they would disagree about what its meaning was. They would just start arguing and ignore me completely, and so I never quite got the story until I really started working on it. And then came that moment of the father dies. You know, my dad died when I was a kid, so suddenly it became a lot more serious. I mean, the thing that I knew was don't ever talk down to children. So I thought, you know, well, okay, if this deals with the death of a father, I'm going to go and write a serious requiem.
Hans Zimmer has been studying music for a long time, so much that he was expelled, or in his words, thrown out, of 8 schools. He's also struggled through his career dealing with stage fright and imposter syndrome. He's also put under a lot of pressure of deadlines in the creative process. Sound is 50% of the movie-going experience. Music is one of the biggest factors that brings immersion and emotional depth to a film. Hans always had a unique way of making his songs, blending traditional orchestral sounds and with electronic sounds. This made his music sound different than other film scores. All his music sounds personal because it is personal to him. He made sure all his music was unique and special to the film he scored for. That's how Hans Zimmer changed film music.